On the 8th day of Christmas, Curtis gave to me my favorite beer. Sounds like my favorite kind of beer.
I mean, Salted Caramel Milkshake Stout.
Beverage bodies with bright dreams.
Welcome back to Beverage Buddies here on the Snack Network. My name is Dave Moore. Joining me, of course, is Curtis Lane. Hi, Curtis. Welcome back to the 12 Days of Christmas.
It's good to be back, Dave.
It's almost like we've been doing this for a long time now.
Yeah, about, what is it, like our 11th total day of shooting? Something like that?
I mean, if you count the days we skipped.
I count those because we were dying or something.
Yeah, just dying.
I'm so glad to be feeling better on this episode and not coughing my brains out or sneezing or anything.
One day, everybody, in real time, it's only been one day. So I'm glad Curtis is fine. That basically proves to me it's not the Rona.
No, it was just head congestion.
So, as you said, we have our salted caramel.
Mm-hmm.
Are you drinking Gatorade?
I have to keep my electrolytes up, David.
Oh, okay.
So I don't die.
I feel like this will betray the flavor.
I doubt it.
Anyway,
I can actually smell things like better now. So
as a beer choice, right? If you were to put these 12 milkshake stouts up on a wall and say, Dave, you can only have one. Pick one. I'm probably gonna pick salted caramel.
Really?
By default, like that is my go-to flavor, and I'm thinking of the rest of the flavors. If there's anything I would have been like, no, you know what? Give me that one. I'm not saying I would know this is the best one, right? But it would be the one that like I would pick off the wall by default if I could only pick one.
You know, I don't know if this would be my first choice so far. I feel like I would look at King Cake and be like, let me try that.
You see, you're way more daring. I'd be like, I don't know if I really care for King Cake.
Because truthfully, King Cake would be the one I would ask about. Because I go to places, I don't know if you've ever gone to this place, the Casual Pint. Okay. They're all the way around. They're places that have like lots of taps. No sponsor here. But hey, Casual Pint, you guys are awesome. Keep doing what you're doing.
I've been to a place like that. They used to have a beer place, like World of Beer. Wasn't it called World of Beer?
Yeah, it was downtown Lakewood or something. But so I went to this place and I would always ask the bartenders because they always tried all of them.
Right.
So I'd be like, how is this? And either they could give me a sample, or if you get a good one that you just chill with, they would actually be like, oh, well, this kind of tastes like this and this and this. You know, it's good. Or you get the people where it's like, huh?
Yeah, they're useless.
But yeah, this would be the one I would ask about at least, to be like, or I would ask about the King Cake and be like, how is that? Like, what does it taste like? Tell me, great bartender of the bar.
See, I think I'd be scared of the gingerbread one.
Oh, like, I would skip the gingerbread one.
I'd be scared of disappointment. Not so much that I'd be scared to try it, as much as I would be like, I don't know.
I'm always disappointed with ginger stuff. Not ginger stuff, but gingerbread stuff.
I've decided that's a ginger beer. Somebody that I was around today broke a giant thing of ginger ale.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't one of those like little Canada Dries. It was one of the serious like glass ginger ales.
Oh.
And I was like, wow, that smells strange.
Actually, another thing that I'm writing this down for us for later.
Okay.
I already know.
Are you making a list?
Yeah, dude. I've been making a list.
You want to make a list of want to add to this list hot Dr. Pepper.
Hot Dr. Pepper.
Yes, because apparently this is a thing. Apparently people are talking about it on the internet. And apparently
actually hot, like temperature hot? Or...
Yes. Like there was a time in Dr. Pepper history where they would suggest in their marketing, like to warm it up for the holidays with a slice of lemon.
Okay, so that's interesting, but also reminds me of, I don't know if anybody's onto or still on The Office, but it's that episode where they're all in Florida, and Aaron and all of them are having dinner. Or Aaron and the grandmother and Andy and all of them are at that little house.
Okay.
And yeah, sorry, this is going really slow. But the grandmother sips the tea and she's like, "Oh, this is interesting tea." And Aaron's just like, "Oh, I warmed up some Gatorade."
Oh yeah.
It just reminds me of that immediately. I'm like, warm Dr. Pepper, boiled Gatorade. Same.
Yeah. So I definitely am curious of this. I'd have to look into like what's the actual recommended way to make hot Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Back to this beer though.
But yeah, back to this beer. So it's made with it's actually says on here made with salt, caramel, once again milk sugars and cocoa nibs.
Which is the defaultive in all of these. But
Yeah.
like we learned yesterday, they do not all have that flavor.
No, but I'm kind of curious that it's actually it lists salt in it, so they're not like using an artificial like bitter agent or something like that.
Hey,
They're actually going for the real thing.
Like when you're brewing, and I don't know. Like
I personally have never put salt in my beer. If they were going to do that, it would probably be towards the end of the process, because one thing that is fun about yeast is it does not like salt.
Yeah,
it does not like salt at all. It will die.
Yeah,
so
it's gonna.
be towards the end.
I was kind of thinking that would kill the yeast a little bit.
It would. So this would be like it would be something they would add at the end. That would be something they could experiment with.
It's a strange pattern of making this.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I wonder if they're using like actual caramel or like a caramel malt. Really,
that's
curious.
another question that I would have.
Yeah,
are you melting down those little caramel cubes?
Ooh, imagine how delicious that would be, though.
Just I love those.
Pouring caramel into a beer, and you're just like, yes, give it to me.
Yeah, the way we poured the honey into the one we brewed.
Yeah,
like I imagine
super sour.
Just shooting straight caramel, like going and being like, you know what I'm gonna go buy? I'm gonna do it with the Hershey's caramel sauce.
So, side note on that beer we made, the correction that we need to do next time is add even more honey after it's done with the first fermentation. We didn't add enough.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that'll hinder the more or less the sourness we got.
Next time we brew, we'll brew on the channel. It'll be fun. Okay.
Fun.
We're going to crack these cans open. I feel like I've let it sit here and get warm.
It's still cold. Mine's been here the whole time, just ready to be just like that.
Hold on, let's get this Foley working here. Ready?
Whoa. Wasn't expecting that. Yeah, I think we're on the same page here. It's not exactly what you were expecting, was it? Like you were expecting like that sweet, almost like Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee caramel-esque. This smells a little different.
God, I haven't placed it yet.
It's the hops. The hops is what's coming forefront. It's right there.
It's like a beer.
It smells more like a beer. This does not smell like caramel. This does not smell like salt. This smells like a nice hoppy stout beer.
Yeah, it's like it's almost as if we walked into a place and I said, give me your basic stout." Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting.
This is what I would get. This is what I would get, and I'd be like, "Oh, yeah, you know what? I probably should have picked something fancier."
I do get a little like a hint of coffee-esque.
Yeah, I'm getting that. Getting that a little bit.
Kind of par for the course right now, but you ready to give it a little tasty taste?
I'll give it a little tasty taste. Oh, it is salty.
Yeah, it's a touch salty. It's not exactly what I was expecting. I personally, I was expecting a lot sweeter.
I was expecting salted caramel. When I think salted caramel, I think like a milkshake blended up with caramel.
You're thinking of like a sweet boy, like a turtle or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
exactly.
A turtle or a straight blizzard from Dairy Queen.
Like something sweeter, like something with a milk chocolatey base or something like that.
Salted caramel was on my list of like default milkshakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just like a good mint chip milkshake. Those are always tasty. I'm gonna be honest, like I get the caramel a little, but
see, I would have picked this one. This would have been the one I would have picked, and I think I would have been the most disappointed.
And that's the sad thing. Like I guess I don't know what I was expecting. I guess I was expecting a sweeter beer because how the other ones were, but I still like it. It's a good rounded beer, just like the other ones. But I don't know. It leaves something to be desired.
It's got a salty kick that I don't quite.
You don't 100% care for.
Yeah,
I mean it's okay with the salty kick, but I feel like
it's like you salted the rim of a beer, though. To me, like
yeah, a little bit, like maybe a little bit less intense.
Like I like salt on my margarita. Making a salty drink isn't a problem.
I feel like the caramel's a little lost.
Yeah, like I feel like everything's kind of a little bit lost. Like it's kind of a stout. It's like a salty stout with a hint
Yeah.
of sweetness.
I feel like it's a little confused of what it wants to be when it grows up.
Yeah.
It's not bad by any means. It's
No,
still a solid stout.
I'm not
I just don't
bashing
know
it.
how close they got to the whole caramel piece of it. And maybe that'll change when I pour it, Maybe that'll be different. How did it fare by a little chug?
A little bit of chug, still kind of just
It's kind of
yeah, it's kind of It's kind of just
I can kind of tell by your face. You're just like,
I
I'll do a little chug.
as much as the blueberry one yesterday, like surprised me as I sat here and I compiled the footage for the show, and I kind of kept sipping on it. I'm like, I kind of like it. Like I was kind of committed, and I understood what I got. And this, like, I feel like when I'm done with this episode, I'll set this down and be like, yeah, I'm kind of done with that.
Yeah, it's if I were to have gotten this at a restaurant and said, I want to start salted caramel, and that's what I got, I'd be a little disappointed. But
I'd drink it.
I'd still drink it,
I'd finish it.
but I probably wouldn't order it again.
Yeah, exactly. They'd be like, "You want another one of those?" Be like, "No. Go get me something else."
I feel like they really hit the mark with the saltiness. They hit that right on the head.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like whatever they're doing there, 100% keep with the salt.
I'm almost
Hit me with some caramel, man.
if I felt like being a super weirdo, I'm almost like tempted to go upstairs, grab the Hershey's caramel sauce, and just squirt a little bit.
Gross. No, don't do that. Just ruin the whole experience.
Ruin
No,
the entire drink forever.
absolutely. But I feel like they could do more with maybe I'm not saying they need to change the recipe or anything, but like add a little extra caramel malt or something. Like you gotta really have that flavor up front if you're gonna call it salted caramel.
The caramel is important, and arguably, I know that it's called salted caramel, and salt comes first on that list. But I would say in a salted caramel thing, I expect caramel.
Yeah, and I'm just not getting it. You get a little bit of sweetness, but it's more like a coffee-esque sweetness. It's not like I'm going, oh, that's totally a caramel stout.
Oh yeah, it's definitely in there, but it's not. It's like a
Side note. It's not even that. It's a forgotten note.
yeah, like because I was gonna say it's like when you drink a caramel frappuccino, and you but they mix it with too much coffee.
Yeah, they add an extra like pump or two of the coffee base,
And they forgot,
and
they forgot half a pump of the caramel, and you're like, all right, that's not quite right.
yeah, exactly.
It's
But you're
fine.
still, and you already left the drive-through, and you're like, I guess I'm drinking this.
Yeah.
This is the sad one. I'm kind of disappointed. This one, it's still good. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I want more caramel. Truthfully, I wouldn't mind a little bit more saltiness.
Yeah, like it's like they almost didn't commit to either, and therefore suffers a little bit. I'm gonna pour this. I'm getting ready.
Same.
To pour.
I'm gonna do a little pour. I'm gonna come up front here. I'm not gonna pour a lot because I'm still trying to recover here, but
Yeah, I know
it
this.
pours really beautifully. I gotta say that.
Yeah, it
Oh,
did. It did quite. I've
That-
got a
that
perfect
was
layer of
smooth.
foam up here, though.
I got a nice little foam layer.
You always pour more than me. I always like. I don't want to check it. Although I've got a giant mug. I don't know if, like, for perspective. Like,
I have a pint glass
this-
every single time.
This is my head. This is my giant pint glass.
I mean, you're still pouring less than me.
Yeah, I
Put it
know.
that way. It's okay. I always like it poured a little bit more. I'm gonna give it a little.
It's kind of dark. It's a little darker than the other one. The last couple.
Okay, so when you pour it, if you smell it, it actually gives off a little bit more caramel, which is interesting.
Oh, it does.
Like I get the scent of caramel more when you pour it.
I'm almost getting almost all caramel smell when I smell it now.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, maybe they went with more of an aromatic caramel, and they were hoping for that.
You've been finishing these cans, right? Like when you're done, because I haven't finished all of them.
I finished every single one of them.
So when you finish it, does it stay pretty consistent all the way through the can?
No. As these cans warm up, the flavors will intensify and change a little bit.
Well, warmth is not really my argument. Is was so much as does it change?
Oh, as throughout like the entire drink. Well, you got to think temperature is a huge impact because you're drinking a 16-ounce can.
Right.
If I were to say, oh, this was at a perfect 37 degrees the whole time, I am lying to you. No, as it warms up a little bit, obviously the flavors are going to change, but the big thing that's the biggest change to me is the flavor profiles diminish and the hops come through.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I noticed about these is if you're gonna drink it warmer, you're drinking more of the hop flavor. You're gonna get more of the aromatic nature of the stout, which is quite nice, but it's not for everybody.
I like every beverage, and I mean almost every beverage cold.
I gotta make you some weird stuff.
Cold. I like it ice cold.
I'm right. Oh, you like every beverage ice cold. Got it.
Yes, not every beverage.
Oh, I was gonna.
We're not gonna try yogurt soda. Calm it down.
I'll drink that.
I'll drink it once.
No, I'm going cold versus hot beverages.
And I want to try hot Dr Pepper. Okay, I'm gonna sip this out of the glass.
Yeah, go for it, dude. I sipped a little bit. It's pretty good. Poured is a little different.
It is quite different.
Maybe you need to pour it.
You know what? It doesn't tell me on the box what to do.
Yeah, it's just like drink the beer.
Yeah, drink it however you want.
Truthfully, poured, the caramel comes a little bit through. It's more of what I was expecting.
Yeah, but it's not. It's still not as dramatic as I was expecting, I guess. I was expecting a caramel drink. I got a salty stout with a hint of caramel.
Yeah.
I
wanted more caramel.
Definitely get the caramel when I sip it out of the glass.
But I still want more.
I do.
It's
Yeah. It's
such a subtle tone. It's if you're gonna call it salted caramel, it has to have the flavors in it. Like you got to have it right at the forefront. Like the peanut butter beer, like that one tasted like peanut butter.
Yeah.
Like it hit us, and it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
It may have been like a different rendition of peanut butter. It's still peanut butter.
Yeah.
But this is like.
I mean, the last one said king cake. It tasted like blueberries.
Yeah, it tasted like something.
I told my friend, who I would consider a beer expert, as somebody who recommended these 12 Days of Christmas to me, right?
Uh-huh.
And I told him that. I said the king cake tasted like blueberries, and he said, "Yeah, it's supposed to taste like that."
But
and
it doesn't talk about it.
I looked at him confused, and he did not explain.
That doesn't surprise me.
So I still don't think king cake tastes like blueberries. I'm gonna get a king cake only to find out if it tastes like blueberries. Then I'm gonna be disappointed when it doesn't, and then I'm gonna be forced to go get those little Debbie blueberry muffins.
That's what you want. Truthfully, that's what it really tastes. There's no way it's supposed to taste like blueberries because it has the notes of cinnamon. They're not cinnamon and blueberries. It's not supposed to taste like gooseberries or something. Sorry, but
snozberries taste like snozberries.
Exactly. For this beer, it does have caramel tones. I will give it that. It did not live up to my expectations after that king cake.
It's a salted stout, and
it's a salted caramel malted stout that I want more out of.
Yep.
That's all I have to say about that.
Thank you guys for watching Beverage Buddies, the 12 Days of Christmas special here on the Snack Network. I'm Dave Moore. That's Curtis Lynn. If you guys want any of our links, they're down below in the description. Of course, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Subscribe to the Snack Network for all sorts of more snacky videos, tasting videos, adventure videos, all the stuff we're doing here on the Snack Network. We're going to try hot Dr Pepper at some point, but it might be like the promise that I make for the next decade, and then we finally do it.
We'll do it. Don't you worry. I got the list.
Okay.
I keep the list.
Somebody will keep a list. We'll lose the list, and then we'll make a new one.
All the lists.
Bye, guys. See you next day, tomorrow on 12 Days
Have a good one, guys. See you on day 9.
True love gave to me beer in a big box, and it was kind of yummy.
So